going to be going over our youth and teen beginner MMA requirements for grappling, okay? So we're going to do our throw, we're going to go over just some different ways we're chaining things together and details that you need to know for this upcoming testing. So the throw is called O-Soto. We're going to teach the different belt ranks, different ways to do it. The first set of ranks is doing O-Soto O-Toshi. O-Toshi is a Japanese word that means drop. So that throw means major outside drop, O-Soto O-Toshi. So we're going to do this where we grab the head and the elbow, okay? This is a very common grip in all of mixed martial arts, right? So here, we have the head and the elbow. If we're just walking up, we can grab someone like that, okay? But we're going to start head and elbow. The big detail is go to the side. That pulls him over on his foot. Then I can walk down this line, put my foot behind his leg, okay? Now, what I want to do is I want to follow him down to the mat, putting him in side mount, okay? Now, George is going to build his cross face and his frame here, and he's going to recover his guard, and I have hands on the biceps, okay? So that is the main piece on that and how we want you to train it together. The hands on the biceps we will go over here in a second. So we go head arm, we step to the side, right here, a lot of weight there. Step down this line here, fall into the mat. He builds his frame, side mount, recovers his guard, hands on the biceps. Okay, so here's where we'll get on our next technique. Hands on the biceps is a way that people stand up in the guard. You lean over your buddy, and you stand up like this. Okay, now when I go to stand up and break George's guard, he can grab, he can drop his hips down and push me backwards. Now when he comes up to mount, he'll put his hands on the mat and come up at an angle, like 45 degrees, and walk the hands, okay? So we'll see that again, chaining all of this together. So here, pulling him down with my hands, he recovers, I go hands in the biceps, I stand up. He sweeps me backwards. He comes up and takes them out. Okay, so that's our double ankle sweep. Here we'll go into our next technique with the standing guard break that we're going to be testing the beginners on. Okay, another way, so you need to know how to stand up with hands in the biceps, because that's when someone does that, that's when we double ankle sweep them. Now here, we call this a 2-on-1. There's going to be times with a back escapes we teach you, and several times that you come into guard and you have this grip. What we're going to do is we're going to stand up on the side we have his arm first. Here. Okay? I want to lean forward when I do that, like the bicep one. Okay? Here. I raise up, I put this on the mat. Now here's the important detail. My toe in the back. Okay? What it does, when I stand up here, it digs into the mat, and I'm going to stand up and turn. George's guard broke. Now I'm going to go under his leg. We call this a single underpass. And I pass. Now, drop in to the side mount position. This is a side mount, but we kind of have his back a little bit. We call it rear side mount. Okay, so Mr. George is on his back again here. So we 2-on-1 here. Okay, we put our foot up here. Now, I don't push when I go to stand up. I was pushing. Now I'm going to start pulling here, okay? Reach back, even if his guard's still closed. Reach back, dig in here, and pass, okay? Now, two other small little techniques here for our beginners. Every set of ranks, the beginners, the white, yellow, orange, the intermediates, the green, blue, purples, the advanced, are doing different variations of the flow drill and are also doing attacks when you do the core guard pass we're working on. All of this cycle is sweeps and passes. Okay, so we're here. We want to push his hips down towards the mat. We have a hand in the hip and a hand here. We're going to widen out. Now I'm going to bring my knee in the center. I'm always leaning back so he doesn't pull me down. Now I'm going to go cat back. That's where I stretch like this. Okay, combat base. That's when we have one knee up in the center. It makes it very hard for someone to close their guard. Now, I do a slider pass, okay? we're gonna do a slider pass to the Kesa position, okay? Now from Kesa, we're gonna switch our hips all the way to reverse Kesa. And when I do this, this will come up a lot, this block, especially for the higher ranks. We're gonna put our elbow on the mat. Now we're in reverse Kesa here. I grab the knee, I pull it towards me, I step over, pull the legs a little more, and mount. Okay? Now, what we usually see is that somebody doesn't stay down like this. Mr. George, he could just trap my arm right here and do the bridge and roll. But usually the person gets up here. We don't want to see the students trying to bridge and roll without breaking the person down. Okay? Now, if my hands are already down, he can just grab my arm, whichever side he wants, and then he bridges and rolls. Okay? But he needs to do all that at once. Okay? So say hands are down, just grab my arm, bridge and roll, Mr. George. Nice. Very good. Go back on your mat, on the back. All right, so now my hands aren't on the mat. Okay? You can't just grab and then hold and then try and bridge and roll. They'll pull their arm back. Okay? Or they'll stand up to this position. So if they're postured up, what we want to do is we want to bridge and bump them, trap their arm and roll them all at the same time. I know it's a lot, but this is how this technique will work. We want it to work. We want to escape mount with the bridge and roll, okay? So George kind of bumped me down, catch my arm, whichever side, trap and roll, nice. He postures up. Knee in center, he breaks, combat base. He starts slider passing to Kesa. Okay, so look, he has an underhook over here, and this arm is under his arm. I can't get it out. He switches to reverse Kesa with his elbow on the mat, nice. Okay, pulls me over, steps to mount. He's postured up, just like we talked about. So look, I'm gonna bridge and buck him. This is gonna trap, and I'm gonna catch his arm all at the same time. We're gonna do it kind of slow. Here, okay? So, that is our flow drill. Knee and center break, slider pass to Kesa, reverse Kesa, bridge and roll. We're gonna do it one time through with no talking. Just like that, okay? Now the very last technique I mentioned, all of the ranks are gonna do an attack off of their slider pass. So we widen, we break that guard, we come combat base. We start doing our slider pass, we have this, and he starts cross-facing with this free hand. We wanna come on top of it, okay? And then we're gonna push down here. We're gonna look up as we go to finish, here. And we're gonna take his elbow to his hip, like this, okay? The look up will help what everybody has a problem with, putting your chest down on the person, okay? It's like we don't wanna touch each other. But what we need to do is look up, and that'll help you put your ribs down on their ribs, okay? So, once you've done that guard break, here, boom, combat base. I start pulling up and I'm passing, it goes to cross face. Come here, go down. Look how I'm looking up here, okay? And I teach the students, you can do this on your knees, but I've sprawled that leg back that's by his hip, okay? And because my hip is down and I'm looking up, it's very hard for him to recover guard, okay? So those are our beginner techniques. We'll be linking them together in class, but that's what we'll be going over this testing.